Hello everyone, welcome to another unboxing from Always Play Blue. Today we're going to take a look at DUNE Imperium, a 1 to 4 player deck building and worker placement game designed by Paul Denon and published by Direwolf Games. So 2020 was the year of the hybrid worker placement deck building games. You had DUNE Imperium and you also had Lost Ruins of Arnak, and both were quite well acclaimed. Really, we really love Arnak here, and I've since then wanted to try DUNE Imperium. I tried to get a copy at UK Game Expo but couldn't track it down. But my girlfriend managed to find the last one on a website recently and got it for me as a birthday gift, which I'm super grateful for. So let's dive into the box and see what we get. Straight away, the manual comes with the iconic sandworm. That's a really beautiful illustration there on the front. And then we dive inside. We've got the components, and then we've got the setup. Always good to have that near the beginning of the manual, I guess. And the top left corner you can see Rodney's Watch It Play QR. I'm seeing these a lot in manuals now. He's I mean, you can go look on YouTube, but it's nice to have a little QR code. Then we've got the concepts for the game. We've got the 3 phases and the breakdown of how they all work. And then really nice at the back there, strategy tips page for, especially for newcomers. I think it's really nice that you're kind of given directions of, you know, where to direct yourself and where not to stray from. And then there's the solo and 2-player. I highly recommend Monique and Naveen's Before You Played, because they play the 2-player game with the AI deck, and so it just makes it easy to learn that part if you're going to play a lot of 2-player. We've got the only punch board here. We've got the alliance tokens and the control markers and combat markers, and then we've got the board itself. I always roll my eyes when I have a board to unfold on an unboxing, but we'll give it a go. Try not to knock anything, but it's a really nice board. I really like what they've done here. In the way they've laid it all out. So you've got the combat in the bottom left and bottom right hand corner. On the planet you've got the sort of main resource gathering worker placement spots, and then everything else is nicely positioned around that. It looks a little complicated, but it's really intuitive to use. So the first component we're going to look at now are the wooden the discs. You have 2 in your player colour. One is a score marker. There's a score line on the right hand side, but the other is used for the counsellor action, which is something you can save up for later on to give yourself a benefit. Here are your agents. You have 3, but you start with 2. You have to sort of buy that 3rd one at some point during the game to give yourself that extra action. And then there's the sort of player cubes. They're like, some are used for markers on the board, some are used as your troops in the combat section. Here is Oscar Isaac. They're obviously using the artwork from the upcoming movie, and these are your player boards, which really nice. They all have 2 asymmetric powers. Sorry. So the one on the left is your constant ability that you're always able to do, and the one on the right, you have a certain card that you're able to play from your deck during your turn if you have it, and has that ring symbol on it. And if you play that, you get to use that ability as well. So next up, we have the water tokens, and we have the Mentat figure in there as well. He's like an extra worker you can hire, I guess, for a round, and then he goes back to his space. That's the Solari tokens, the currency. So there's the like with the spice here, you've got a small one which is worth 1 and a slightly larger token that's worth 5. And then you've got the other player colours, so it's green, blue, and then here we have yellow and red as your cubes. And then the last thing in the box is the player cards. Nice insert. It looks basic, but it's not just a massive empty box, which is nice. So the cards and stuff all go in little sections. But here we have the small cards, and we have the print card as well, which is odd. And the 2 types of cards we have are the conflict cards, and we have the intrigue cards. The intrigue cards are a lot like the I think, I don't know if they're called the same thing in Lords of Waterdeep, but they're sort of special abilities that you can use either during combat or during your turn or at the end of the game, and they'll give you a little boost. I had a combat one that really won me a fight in one of the rounds when we played recently. And then the other cards, the conflict cards, are made up in a certain way where you work through the deck. I think it's you make it into a deck of 10. So each turn it gets revealed, and that's the reward for combat for that round. So you know what you're fighting for. And then there's a print card again. Nice. And then we have the Imperium deck cards, the reserve cards, and we have the House Hargle cards. And these are the AI cards. So when you play solo or 2-player, you use this, and after the first player's turn, you flip one of these over, and that's what the AI does. There's actually a phone app you can get for this as well that you just press draw, and it just does it itself. But there's a deck in there as well. And then we've got these cards, and I think it's a really interesting way they've done the deck building mechanic, because you have the beige line and the little symbols, and that's the symbols are where you can place your worker. The beige bar is what you do when you play that card, but you only have 2 or 3 workers. So the rest of the cards in your hand, at the end of your turn, you utilise the bottom section there, the sort of space section with the extra combat and the extra sort of money symbol there, the 1s and the 2s and that, and so you get to then just reap the rewards from the cards you haven't used. So it's very tactical. And do I play this now, or do I want that reward for the end of my round? So it's a nice little twist on the mechanic. But yeah, that's DUNE Imperium. Fantastic game, great components. Look forward to playing it more. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more content, head over to Instagram @alwaysplayblue, or check out the website alwaysplayblue.com. Thank you.